discern. So it's your girl Wisdom. Like, share, subscribe, and ask God if I'm telling the truth. But here we go. Did y'all see? Go to Worldometer, right? That keeps the population of all of the different countries. Okay. For a time now, Spain, Italy, all the places that are connected to the Iberian Peninsula, their wombs have been closed. Yeah, they ain't telling you about that. That's why they doing that fight over there, so that you don't know that supernaturally God has stopped women over there from having babies, just like the movie Children of Men. Go watch that movie. Why was it a black girl in the movie Children of Men? That was the one that was the only one who could have a baby. You know, like, I just wanted to throw that. I could have done this as a short, but I just wanted to throw that out there so that way when you look at my videos and call me anti-Semitic or say that I'm saying something wrong, because I'm not anti-Semitic. I don't care one way or the other, because God got me. You give it one way or the other. But it's important for you to know that supernatural stuff is happening, and we're waiting on the next live, because they're treating their ability to retaliate as if it's a LeBron shoe. You get what I'm saying? So it's like they want you to think about what's the next retaliation. But there's real supernatural stuff going on, y'all. Go look at Worldometer and tell me why Portugal and Spain, the women ain't getting pregnant no more. No, like their population is going backwards. Now we know as long as life exists, people getting busy and making babies. So why that country has almost had a freeze on making babies? That's something supernatural, y'all. Like, no, we know that. You can't stop a man. Like, I believe women aren't allowed to preach. I really do. Unless you're preaching to women, I don't think you should preach. And I know you're like, oh, what do you mean? It ain't because I don't think you can. It's because men are jerks. They're perverts. And while I'm sitting here preaching, they're looking at my lips instead of listening to the things that's coming out my mouth. So I'm telling you, there's no way any country should not be having babies unless God did it. There's no way any country should be experiencing months and months without a baby being born in their OBGYN clinics. Months and months. Go look. Months and months without babies being born in Spain, Portugal, Italy. Go look. Sicily, all those places where the last known whereabout of Judah is at, is experiencing barrenness. It's true, ain't it? Thank you, Linda. Thank you. I'm about to cry because I thought about it, like today I had this beautiful thing happen where this little girl came up to me and like literally she wrote and showed me pictures of wrote a picture of Stanley and all of this from my channel. And I was so blessed by it. But then I thought about it. I go to a very affluent church. I didn't know that. I'm used to going to churches where, everybody's struggling and trying to figure things out. But no, like the county commissioner go to that church. The neighborhood dentist go to that church. And I thought to myself, because we know this is taboo, what I'm saying. And I went, man, I could be ruining for you, God. For you, God. I'd only do that for you. But at the same point, I really want a church family. I really want a group of people where I feel accepted. And it's cool if they believe those are the people, because that's what they're going to deal with, that between them and God. I choose not to pick sides. But we do got to pay attention to the supernatural things that are going on around this world. So this is my way of saying, if I'm lying, why something so supernatural as entire countries going barren is happening and nobody's talking about it? We know why nobody's talking about it, because everybody's waiting on the next retaliation shoe drop. We're all wondered, like, they just said, oh, forget the ceasefires. We're going to we're going forward with our retaliation soon. Very soon. They even put that. Like, they are literally playing with lives in a media kind of way. A media kind of way. You know how media is. That's literally like, as many people are a trending kind of way. But this is people's mothers and brothers and sisters and cousins and whoever's playing. So I ain't saying who playing, but I'm saying at some point it got to get real enough for us to start like, if we really believe God is real and that supernatural things are possible, why aren't we looking at the supernatural things? That's a real question, such as earthquakes, like hundreds of tornadoes, thousands of earthquakes. The fact that I know this to be certain, the fact that parts of the Bible has Mandela affected. I know, and then people get mad at me for saying it, but no, go look. There's parts where I know that I know what it said. I know what it said. Now it say something different. Real talk, that's a supernatural event. And what I'm saying is, why are we not paying attention to the supernatural things that are happening of God right now? Such as whole countries are going barren. Like, no, going months without one baby being born. I went no, like, so nobody told me, like, somebody told me this. I didn't believe them, flat out. I didn't believe them. I went to Worldometer and sat there and watched, waiting on the tick to go up. Like, oh my God, it has been 3 days and not one baby been born in Spain, in Portugal. It's been 5 days, not one baby been born. I watched it with my own eyes. So, like, somebody told it to me, but then I went, that's not possible. Let's watch this little tick thing on Worldometer. Oh my God, not one baby born. I think they had, like, since it's been a while since I've looked at it, so they probably having babies now. But I know during that time, it was literally months without a child being born. How is that possible? Unless God did it. So, yeah, I wanted to say this, for my community. I want you to know I'm not anti-Jew or Northern men, because that's another thing. Go look at the headlines for Israel, Palestine, and Egypt back in 1949. I think it was 49 or 48. Go look at the newspaper clips. Literally, the Egyptian president said the Jews left black and came back white. That was on the front of the newspaper. I'm telling the truth. And I'm not the kind of person that can lie to myself in order to fit in with anyone. I will never do such a thing. I can't, because I hear God. I cannot go, oh, there's a reason I trust the. No, nobody. Black, white, green, or yellow. No, I can't go along to get along, because my life is on the line. And I'm literally under the gun of a real God. You get what I'm trying to say? One that where you could watch supernatural heaven and earth move. Real talk. So I just wanted to say that, So start looking, keep your eye on Spain, keep your eye on Portugal, keep your eye on them, because we really do got to find out, or just have the courage to look at God. Like there was this book, which that book is horrible, by the way, y'all. I read that book. That book is a ghostwriter wrote that book. So don't think I'm talking about the writer of it. She is not, even though she a black woman, whatever, she ain't a good writer. Like, no. That was a program. That was some type of spell situation too. But their eyes were watching God. Real talk. So I'm wondering, do we have the courage to watch God? So I'm not talking about that book. I want y'all to know. I just was using the title. Their eyes were watching God. Can we watch God? Are we willing to discern what's going on in the world enough to watch God, though? Go look for God stuff, water turning to blood. I literally saw Cleveland, Ohio, Lake Erie with my own eyes turn to blood. My own eyes. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? What else does the Bible say gonna happen? Earthquakes, wars, rumors of wars, but don't worry about that. Ain't that what Jesus said? He said those are all birth pains until the real thing come. And the real thing, y'all gotta know, it is about, God is about to make like, y'all wondering why it ain't happened yet? Like why they ain't dropped they new or whatever? It's because God about to make they ain't got to. They ain't got to drop no new because God himself is about to make the plate slip. It's the truth. It's science truth. That here we go. Not just from the concept of religion. Science truth says the permafrost is the permanently ice section of under our feet that makes our ground solid. It is unthawing. If it unthaws, then that means the ground can slip. It can move. Just like Pangea. Y'all remember Pangea and the fact that Africa and South America look like they go into each other? Yeah, that about to happen. When? I don't know. That's why I said food, water, warmth. But water, food, warmth. Because what's next on the Bible is that the water becomes undrinkable. It's the truth. Think about it. They have gotten rid of all of the, remember they were pouring out milk? Why are they so focused on milk? Remember, I got severe ADHD. Milk is one of the only things that help this brain. Milk, apples, all the stuff they've destroyed lately are the things that bring this brain in a happiness state of mind. Why are they preparing for a milk disaster? Like, no, they just did an exercise of a bio attack via the milk. Why? Why? Why milk of all things? Wouldn't it be smarter to do it with grapes? Why milk? Don't they say we don't drink milk? Like, some people have milk, but that was when you was a child, you thought like a child, but now that you're grown, you gotta have meat. Why are they mentioning these things? I'm just asking you to ask questions because you earned the right to. You've earned that. That's what makes a, first off, I got people watching me from the UK, Russia, all these different countries. There was a time when they loved America. Let me tell you why. It's because we genuinely are able to speak up. Why would we neglect the values that made the rest of the world love us? Like, no. Why? What is so special about the people that we're not allowed to mention? Right? What is so special that we're expected by our peers to neglect the principles that made this great nation great? That's sad. That's heartbreaking. Like, freedom of speech. They ain't allowed to have free speech other places. They don't even got money in Geneva. Like, no, for real, everything's on a card to where it's all tracked. You can never, like how I'm getting up to go try to sell all my stuff on the side of the road kind of thing. They can't do that because everything's tracked. There's no there's no physical money to give you for my wares and goods in other countries. Because it's all on some type of credit system where you can go in, and if you don't pay your health insurance, they'll shut down your credit and make it to where you can't buy food and stuff. In other countries, that's what's going on. So as Americans, how dare we neglect the truth about separation of church and state? How dare we neglect the truth about the ability to protest? How dare we? Just like who was it? Who was it? Was it Hamilton? Was it Hamilton? One of our presidents or one of our great leaders, forefathers of this nation said, I will fight tooth and nail, even be willing to die. I may not agree with what you say, but I'll fight tooth and nail for your right to say it. That's why they were called forefathers. That's why, even though I'm black, yes, God made America for a time such as this. And literally, we let them kill all of the activists. And corrupt the others. The others are corrupt. All of us are corrupt. That's the truth. We've all been a part of this system. But when shouldn't it get to a point where, like, when I know me, like, and here we go. That's why my favorite people are people who've been through serious adversity. You know, like when you just been strung out on heroin and you get to that point of where you say, I don't care that I've been strung. I don't care that I was prostituting. I don't care. I wasn't, but you get what I'm saying. I don't care that I was doing any of these things. At this point, it's whatever God say, or I'll die. It's whatever God say, or I'll die. You get what I'm saying? So like people who been through a lot, they don't have the allegiances to money that can corrupt them. You know what I mean? Because they've been through hecky double hockey sticks. They've been through it to where it's literally like, I don't care what it takes. I have to do right by God because I got my butt whooping up front. And many of us have. So I'm just saying, don't neglect these American principles of our forefathers when we need them the most. I think everything that's happened before now has been a live exercise or something. Like, think about J. Edgar Hoover. What's his name? J. Edgar Hoover. Why was he so scared that a Messiah was going to come from black people? That's one of those things where you're like how the Jews keep saying they're gonna kill us, they're gonna kill us, where everybody else is kind of and them they're kind of going, I'm trying to get money. I wasn't even thinking about killing you. I don't know what you're talking about. That's the same thing that happened with J. Edgar Hoover when he wanted to study and secretly tap all the black people because he was afraid. Go look it up. There's actually voice of him saying, make sure the Messiah doesn't come through those people. Where'd that come from? I remember thinking that, that's a weird elephant in the room that we didn't even know was there. That's a horse of a different color. How could the worst, the least of these, be such a threat for you to the point where you use the word Messiah? I wouldn't be surprised if something real happened with Martin Luther King, something good. And that's why I say don't dog Martin Luther King in my presence. Don't do it. Don't do it. I don't care if he was a whoremonger. I don't care what he was. Every single every single state has a street named after that man. We are able to get on the bus and sit down. Any amount of privilege we think we got came from the death of that man and the fight of that man. Him and Malcolm. When Malcolm got on the non-violent. I'm not lying. I'm not lying at all. So I'm saying don't just long story short. And why did that Jewish museum? I'm talking about the picture was higher than this wall. I put it in that last video I did. I went and found all those videos and put it in the comments. So you go see it yourself. The picture of Martin Luther King's dead body was bigger than this wall, and he was in his coffin dead. Why was that in the Jewish museum? Big too, huge. Like, if his family walking there, that make you cry to see a dead body that big of Martin Luther King, the Moses of our generation. He didn't make it into the promised land, huh? So does that mean that yeah, God already said that Christ was coming. We still into, I got a feeling we got a moment where we gonna see Christ in a manner that we wasn't expecting to see him in. Like, I know, we all know he coming, but the way it feels like they lied about some time. Like they maybe added 1,000 years when it's probably the year right now might be 1,024. You know what I mean? But there's proof they did that too. Go look at the Roman coins. My pastor was talking about Rome. Rome did that. They put, instead of like in 723 or something like that, instead of putting 723 on their coin, they put I, or one. It looked like a 1723 on it. And if you were in the know, if you wasn't a nigger, let's be real. Let's say the words. Here we go, since we got those problems, right? So if you weren't an ignorant person, because you thinking black and white, right? No, no, no. I'm talking about a person who didn't know any better, who was kept from a truth. If you weren't that, then you knew that it was I-723. But if you didn't know, it looked like 1723. That's why part of our history gone. That's why we don't got the history of 1300, because 1300 probably was 300. Oh, look, I don't know. So I'm just saying, guys, I think, like I said, I came back to do this because there could be backlash. I pray there's no backlash. I pray that, people just treat me like they always do. Like, act like my YouTube channel don't exist. I really don't want to muddy the waters in Edmonton because I love them. But I know the depth of this. Because that's another thing. Y'all think there's two wars going on? Russia and Ukraine and Israel and Iran? Yeah, nah. Them the same people. Real talk. Go look. Ukraine is the people that's over there. Go look. The people that say that they are but are not, and they sitting in a place, that's where they were gathered from. Go look. Go look about who is Ashkenazi. Go look. Instead of getting mad at me or anyone else for being honest, educate yourself. Because if not, I'm going to have to laugh and say, who's the nigger then? It's the truth. I'm sorry, it's the truth. Because you got to be willing to educate yourself, or they going to pull the wool over your eyes. They can. I ain't going to say they going to, because I'm learning to be a little more trusting. But they can. All right, I'm going to cut this short. Don't just look at one. Because something as big as whole countries not giving birth for months on end has occurred. The water really has turned to blood. Google it. Water turns to red like blood. All around the world. Not in one place or one location. All or I saw it with my own eyes. Lake Erie turned blood red. I saw it. I pulled over. I took pictures. I called people, come to the lake. It's red. I saw it with my own eyes. What else did God say he was going to do? I saw a locust, not a cicada. I took a picture of it. A locust landed on my dining room window in Cleveland, Ohio. A locust at the same time that locusts took over Egypt, Mecca. They took over Mecca. Why are they walking around that place with the black stone? Why is the most expensive uh, corporation, like the richest corporation in the world, called Blackstone, if they so called don't like the people that worship the Blackstone? Come on, y'all. Come on, man. Like, just being an American says that you should be able to be intelligent and tell the truth. Everybody else can't. Why did God say that he was going to purify the language again at the time of the end? It's happened. It like, no, how do I know it's happened? Because everybody knows English. I don't even have to know another country, and I got friends all around the world. I mean, I don't have to know another language, and I have friends all around the world. Why? Because God purified the language again so that we can talk to each other. My time, my time here on earth is whatever it is. But at least I know I did the right thing while I was here. At least if I'm going to get my butt whooped, I have to know I got my butt whooped for loving God and being honest and marveling at him. There ain't nobody alive that can stop a baby from being born but God. There ain't nobody that can create. Did you know no one can create water in a dry, barren place? Water cannot be created. Only God could do that. Go look. Like, remember, Cat Williams even said it. You know the recipe, but you can't create it. He's telling the truth. Go look it up scientifically. Scientifically, they can't create it. They can make something like it. Frost. Go. You love your Book of Enoch, right? Everybody think it's a good book. He said Frost, stepped out of his position. Like he betrayed everybody. So I'm talking about Jack Frost. Frost itself betrayed everyone. Anybody seen snow lately? It don't look like snow. Have you seen a kernel of snow or a flake of snow lately? Have you looked at it with a magnifying glass? It don't. It look more like that jet the you know what I'm talking about, the virus. It looked more like that. It looked like a whole bunch of spikes. It don't look like that pretty what's the name? I know because I took pictures and videotaped it and posted it everywhere as snow was falling. Like, y'all, where's the flake? Where's the flake? So I guess I'm also doing this video to say if I ever am judged here, it's worth it because I know I told the truth and I didn't take things at like haphazardly. Like when God told me something or you told me something, I acted like a responsible consumer and I sought out the information in order to know the truth. And that's responsible. America has freedom of speech. It has separation. All these things were on purpose. Separation of church and state. But we allowed the federal government to come in and take the power from the people. It's the truth. Go look it up for yourself. And I just did that. I looked it up for myself. Nobody, no MAGA, nobody told me this. Like I ain't on nobody's side. Real talk, I am on the Lord's side. So don't even be sitting here thinking I'm a Republican or a you better leave me alone. I'm neither. I'm honest. I'm honest. There's no such thing. If you go look, there's no such thing as Republican and Democrat. That's an ongoing joke, a slavery joke. If you really want to go back and look up jokes, go look up slavery jokes. There's a joke about two men come in and they're cousins, and they give you a choice between two really bad things to make you think you got a choice. It's the truth. Go look it up. There's a whole comic book about it. And so I'm not saying this. This is mainstream things. This ain't from me. And I ain't gonna lie, yeah, can I be honest? As I was sitting here, I got a little afraid because there's a lot of influential people. And I thought, uh-oh, it is hard to be affiliated with anyone when you have to tell the truth. So pray for me. That's what I want to ask, is that powerful people of God, pray for me. Like, if you know you're a prayer warrior, pray for your girl, because Martin ain't here no more. Malcolm ain't either. Robert and John, they ain't there. They ain't here no more. Shoot, people, like, we've been watching it. Like a whistleblower for Pan Am, or one of them just got killed recently. So just pray for me. And like, they could cancel me, but that's cool. If they do cancel me, I'm down with going back in my house. I'm down with it. I'm waiting on it all to be over too. And if they want to, I'm not talking about the people in the community. I'm talking about the hidden hand. If the hidden hand want to get me out of here, then they better come on with it. That's all I gotta say, is that you taking too long with this crock pot stuff. Real talk. Because I'm going to tell the people what God said tell them. And he said, look for the things only God could do and find out if it's getting done. Look around for it. Go find it out. Like, go look at the principles of God. Find out what a eunuch is and why they're bringing a eunuch spirit into America. Why? Why? If it didn't matter, why are they doing it? Why are they going out of their way to be the opposite of God's image? Why? But yeah, I got a little nervous. Because then I went, whoa, wait a minute. Because in church, I wanted to tell about how Fam and her mom, Cindy, they came and they helped me, man. I felt like a rescue. I felt like God created his own Homestead Rescue TV show for me this weekend. I felt like I was on an episode of Homestead Rescue. I'm so grateful. So I just don't want to be afraid anymore. You should not be afraid for telling the truth. You just shouldn't. That's not un-American. That is very un-American. Everybody else, every other country could be afraid for not telling the truth, because that's what they do. But not America. Americans should not be afraid for being honest. They shouldn't be afraid for standing up for the little guy. They shouldn't be afraid of that. And is it because money reigns? Screw your money. Money ain't what I want. I want community. Money ain't what I need. I need community. God got all the money I need. Community is what matters. All right, I just gave y'all another little supernatural tidbit. I'm going to go. God bless y'all. And keep me in your prayers. Because I'm going to tell the truth at all costs every single time. And if they could look at me and say, off with your head, then I'll go like this. And that's American.